Hi everyone, good to see you again all. I hope you all will be fine. Please check Iraq latest news updates. The market, as measured by the Rabee Securities RSISX USD index, was up 16.3% for the month and up 65.5% for the year. As argued here over the last few months, most recently in market rallies as it begins to discount the budget's passage, that the 2023-5 budget following its passage in June would lead to sizable liquidity injections into the economy. This, in combination with the positive global macroeconomic developments, will drive economic growth that would eventually feed into meaningful growth in corporate profits, which in turn would sustain the market's current rally. The banking sector, in particular the top-quality banks, are likely to be key beneficiaries of this emerging economic growth that would come with an increased adoption of banking, and a move away from the dominance of cash as both a store of value and a means of economic exchange. The thrust of AFC Iraq Fund investment thesis for the banking sector, as discussed in Banks and the Iraq Investment Thesis in February 2022, is that increased adoption of banking would come with growth in bank lending, resulting in an expansion in the money circulating in the economy and consequently to an increase in non-oil GDP. Over time, banks' earnings should grow substantially, leading to meaningful increases in their valuations, and ultimately feed into much higher market multiples. This thesis is getting a substantial boost from a potent combination of recent fundamental and technical developments that promises to accelerate the adoption of banking and bring about a transformation of the sector and its role in the economy. Such a transformation should lead to a sustainable strong earnings growth, particularly for the top-quality banks, which would provide the fuel for the stock market's next phase. The recent fundamental developments have come about as a consequence of the currency's upheavals, following the Central Bank of Iraq's CBI new procedural requirements for its provisioning of US dollars USD for importers in mid-November 2022. In the ensuing months, the CBI introduced a raft of measures to further regulate cross-border transfers, accelerate the adoption of banking, and strengthen the banking system, all of which have led to meaningful increases in new banking customers, growth in deposits and loan books, that have disproportionately benefited the top-quality banks*. While more time is needed for these developments to shape these banks' future earnings profiles as they adapt their strategies and infrastructures, nevertheless, a glimpse of an emerging strong earnings profile can be had from the just-released second quarter earnings for 2023. The tables below feature 4 of the top-quality banks, of which 3 are among the top constituents of the RSISX USD index****. The tables compare selected balance sheet and income statement metrics for the second quarter of 2023 versus the first quarter to highlight the near-term changes as the KEYS measures came into effect, and versus the second quarter of the prior year to highlight the scale of these changes. And Iraqi President Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid called for international support in coordinating efforts to combat terrorism while seeking Chinese aid in rebuilding the country's infrastructure. In an interview with the Chinese news agency, Xinhua, President Rashid emphasized Iraq's prolonged struggle against terrorism and urged the international community to collaborate and coordinate in the ongoing fight against this menace. President Rashid also highlighted the positive developments regarding the rapprochement between Iran and Saudi Arabia, recognizing this as a step toward bolstering security, stability, and peace in the region. He expressed appreciation for the efforts made by China and Iraq in facilitating this diplomatic reconciliation. Iraq's pressing need for international support and the involvement of global companies in reconstruction efforts were emphasized by President Rashid. He cited areas such as infrastructure development, electricity, water supply, energy, and other essential services where international cooperation and investment are crucial. The president specifically identified the need for building roads, bridges, dams, railways, and other critical infrastructure projects, inviting Chinese companies to contribute to these endeavors. President Rashid acknowledged the positive trajectory of Iraq's relations with China and expressed gratitude for the contributions of Chinese and other international firms engaged in reconstruction projects in Iraq. Furthermore, President Rashid welcomed conferences to improve the environment and address climate change, recognizing their significant impact on human health and future generations. He also acknowledged the importance of the Global Civilization Initiative proposed by Chinese President Xi Jinping. He underscored the need for coordination and cooperation among all parties to revitalize ancient civilizations, particularly in culture and science. And the Central Bank of Iraq (CBI) reported that its auction on Tuesday recorded sales exceeding $250 million. According to Shafaq news agency correspondent, the central bank conducted its auction to buy and sell the US dollar, resulting in total sales of $255,684,184. An increase from Monday, when sales amounted to $197 million. The central bank covered these transactions at a base exchange rate of 1,305 dinars for each dollar for documentary and international settlements via electronic cards. The rate remained the same, at 1,310 dinars per dollar for external transfers and cash transactions. Most dollar sales were allocated to strengthen balances abroad in the form of remittances and credits, reaching $201,848,184, while cash sales amounted to $54,200,000. Our correspondent noted 9 banks purchased cash dollars, while 16 responded to requests to enhance their balances abroad. Additionally, 129 exchange and brokerage companies participated in the auction. Thanks, take care.